are setting schools on fire. When will we recognize that this is only the tip of the iceberg? When will we recognize the futility of telling our young man to go to school when he has 3 jobless university graduate brothers and sisters at home? When will we recognize that the political leadership of this country has failed the youth? We have behaved like rogue caretakers who rob those whose welfare you are custodians to. Young people are left with the motorbike as their only hope. Who has cheated us that this is sustainable? Agriculture is dead. Farmers across sectors are agonizing. They don't know whether to throw in the towel or to try one more season. Each year is a new season of net loss on investment. The sugar farmers, the tea farmers, the coffee farmers, the rice farmers, you name them. But nobody seems to care. For how long can this go on, fellow Kenyans? Meanwhile, because of the levels of unemployment and heavy taxation, the cost of production has gone through the roof, and the costs are pushed to mwananchi wa kawaida. And as the COVID pandemic has taken poverty among Kenyans to another level, depression has set in. Violence has overwhelmed us at home and away. That is the way it is. Tusidanganyane. Ndio tusidanganyane. The sanctity of life means nothing in our country. We wake up every day to news of murder, slaughter, and disappearances of persons. Even when several dozen bodies are discovered in gunny bags in a river, it is business as usual. Even when poor Kenyans are buried alive in a mine, we are unmoved. Young people are slaughtered like goats every day. Nobody is moved. What have we become, fellow Kenyans? And where is your government? When all this is happening, where are the handshake partners? Lost sight of the meaning of government. Government is now about formalized corruption through budgeting to steal. We have allowed the criminal mind to take over the budgeting process. It budgets for corruption. Once upon a time, armed with a new constitution, we swore that it would not matter who becomes the president, for we believed that we would all get our share of development regardless of who is in charge. Today, alas, today, we all want to line up next to the president to beg for development. This is because revenue and loans are acquired for the singular purpose of being stolen. Hardly anything is left for development. The Auditor General's report for 2019 shows that stalled projects, which we continue to borrow billions to run into mind-boggling trillions. Tusidanganyane. Times like these require a focused, level-headed, visionary, and truly patriotic and selfless leader and leadership. That leadership is speaking to the nation here, now. I want to be your next president, and I trust through the will of God of all creation, you will give me the opportunity to get our country out of the morass of decay and place an undisputed tiger nation that competed head and shoulder above the rest of the tiger nations in the 1960s. Why do I want to be president? Let us be honest. Wakati wa kudanganyana umekwisha Kenya. Let's not lie to each other that economic recovery is a touch-and-go affair. Kenyans have the right to ask this question of all those offering themselves to lead. Why are you seeking to be president of a corrupt and broke country? My answer is straightforward. I desire to lead the change back to economic prosperity, to reclaim the soul of our country, to offer trust that I will always tell Kenyans the truth. Do what I say and not promise what I cannot do. I ask Kenyans to trust me since I come with clean hands, experience, and I acknowledge that there are problems to be dealt with. I ask Kenyans to rally around the ANC's Uchumi Bora Pesa Mfukoni clarity. This is not the usual empty rhetoric Kenyans have gotten used to. Sio kudanganyana. Unlike some eccentric experiments being bandied around, Uchumi Bora Pesa Mfukoni is about creation of wealth and employment. It is not a celebration of poverty. I am indeed glad that our competitors cannot avoid invoking Uchumi Bora Pesa Mfukoni, whether as a slip of the tongue or old-age plagiarism. Uchumi Bora Pesa Mfukoni is a strategy to resuscitate the economy and put money where it helps most, in your pocket. Remember, you are only safe if your neighbor is safe too. Therefore, Uchumi Bora Pesa Mfukoni is about moving sovereignty to shared economic benefits for all. No one will be left behind or be discriminated. Hata hustlers wanahitaji uchumi bora. Na pesa mfukoni. Nirudie. Hata hustlers wanahitaji uchumi bora na pesa mfukoni. Together, we will do it. Kenyans, let me touch on the issue of quality leadership. Look for quality in leadership and abandon those with the trust deficit and deceit. Trust issues have a very special place in my heart and in my life. A person must be as good as his or her word. If your word cannot be your bond, then you are not good even for the ash pit. Leaders must be the salt of the nation. If they have lost trust or are untrustworthy, then they have lost all the flavor of the salt of leadership. As we close into the critical moment when Kenyans must decide, I caution my compatriots, beware those who can never be trusted. Fellow Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of the change you have been yearning for is here with us. On 26th December last year, I sent a warning that it would not be business as usual this year. In fact, I said I would be unpredictable. And it is not going to be business as usual. As the saying goes, the time has come when we must scatter them and gather them. Scatter them and gather them. Yes, we are going to scatter them and gather them for the sake of our country. And we start today, here, now. Starting now and in the coming days, ANC will be seeking partnerships on the journey that we are now embarked upon. There is no shortage of friends, of goodwill, and good intent to partner with. For the avoidance of doubt, let me state this in plain words. We may not know who is going with us or who will be our comrades at arms on this mission. But we know who they will not be. They will not be those who cannot be trusted. Those whom you trust at your own risk. We have traveled with untrustworthy persons before, and even when we have given them another chance to redeem themselves, they have failed miserably by returning to their old mischief. It is true, after all, that bad manners die hard. We shall no longer countenance the company of those who cannot be trusted. No, never again. For the avoidance of doubt, and now I repeat, for the avoidance of doubt, the ANC stand, which I am privileged to pronounce, is that the spectre called Azimio is not an option when it comes to partnership. Handled in the early 1990s as Kenya's finance minister. The country was broke. Kenya was an international pariah. Bilateral and multilateral lenders shunned us because borrowed sovereign money had gone down corrupt throats. Just like now, I restored macroeconomic stability that resuscitated Kenya's economy and spurred its growth. I established the Kenya Revenue Authority to protect domestic revenue from being stolen. I made Central Bank of Kenya and